Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Megan.
I'm Lefty.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Matt. And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's so nice to see you. It's just about to be 4th of July weekend, so we've got a busy day ahead of us. We've got all the animals fed this morning. Farm market's all set up. And Dad is at the wholesaler picking up some produce that we need. In the last video, we got a much needed rain, and now everything is quite sloppy. That's okay. That's okay. We really needed the rain. And this afternoon, we're expecting thunderstorms as well. So we're getting much needed rain. All right, we're heading back in the truck because it's time to get picking. I get in the truck and you're eating cookies.
Well, I had to make sure they tasted okay. We're selling them. Joel told me to bring them.
How do you feel about getting ready to start picking for the year?
It's exciting. I'm getting flashbacks to the crazy year of 2020.
We've got a lot of stuff that we need to harvest today. Zucchini, cucumbers, and pickling cucumbers just to start. As we're harvesting the pickling cucumbers, we're looking for a few different things. One of the things we're looking for is cucumbers that are around these sizes right here. And these cucumbers grow so fast that if we miss one that is, say, for example, this size, next time we come back and pick, it's going to be really long and really fat. So we want to make sure that we harvest thoroughly. Sometimes when we're harvesting, it may look like we're being a little rough with the plant. But when it comes to cucumbers, you have to flip over the plant because sometimes the stuff you need is hiding underneath. And if you miss it this time, it'll be too big to harvest next time.
Right, get in there, peacock.
If you're raising cucumbers, this is like one of the best ways to pick them, by rolling them over. But something you have to remember, after you roll them over, you need to roll them back because your plants will get all twisted, and then the next time you come through and harvest, it's harder to find the cucumbers. And I would say, well, that's not really big of a deal, but when you're picking as often as we are, it does become quite a big deal. Look at those. Wow. One of the hardest things about picking early in the year is there's not a lot of the product actually there. So we search through all of the plants to find basically a tenth of what we'll get when the main harvest is here. It's still good to get these in the farm market because we'll be able to sell them and get people excited for more. I've mentioned in some of my previous videos about cucumbers about how they get pollinated. Because the plant is so low to the ground and it's covered, it's hard for the wind to pollinate these plants. Because the wind cannot hit these cucumber plants as effectively, we rely heavily on bees and other insects to pollinate our crop. And it's pretty neat. If I lift up the plant, I can show you the difference between a male and a female flower. So right over here, if you look, for example, where there's a flower and a little cucumber forming behind it, that's a female flower. But now if we come up here and we see this flower, where nothing's forming behind it, that's a male flower. That's why we rely so heavily on bees, because that flower could not pollinate the other by the wind. That would be nearly impossible. So we rely heavily on bees, birds, and insects to pollinate our crop. So that's why it's important to have them around. And one big difference between cucumbers and pickling cucumbers, cucumbers have bigger seeds and thicker skins. So that's one big difference between the cucumbers and the pickling cucumbers. And the pickling cucumbers stay smaller. Something else we always get asked is if we ever get stung by bees. And it's very rare. I can't remember getting stung by a bee within the past like 5 years of picking cucumbers. Usually they're in here doing their work, they're pollinating. So if you just respect them and let them do their work, they won't bother you. And what's funny is out of everybody here, there's only one person allergic to bees. And guess who's the person that gets stung?
I got stung last year, but it wasn't picking pickles. It was hooking up a wagon that we didn't move in a long time. There was a bee's nest on.
I've been bit by spiders picking peas. That's happened to me before. Because spiders love peas. Another reason to hate them. The peas, not spiders.
Strike 812 for peas.
We just finished out our pickling cucumbers, our cucumbers and zucchini, and we got a really nice harvest. We got quite a few baskets. We got a nice size harvest from this stuff, but it's early in the year, so it's minimal compared to what we'll get later on. Now that we're finished harvesting our cucurbits, we're gonna move on to our cole crops. Now cucurbits are the family that cucumbers and zucchini belong to. So when we say cucurbits, that's what we mean. Some other plants that are in that family, we have like watermelon, squash. So there you go, you learned something new, what cucurbits are.
Starting off, we're picking kohlrabi first. Kohlrabi is a vegetable. Oh, you got a big bug crawling up here. It was a dung beetle. It was gonna put dung on your neck. Where was I? Oh, you cut the skin off of it and you slice it. And it reminds me a lot of the consistency of the stem on the broccoli, but it has like a little spicy taste, a little bit like a turnip maybe. Older varieties as they get bigger would get like sort of woody and wouldn't taste so good, but these new hybrids can get quite big and stay real nice and tender and taste good.
I don't think we ever got as much water on it as we did this.
Need the knife out of the truck, Daniel, and some red baskets.
Oh, hello. You have a parrot on your shoulder.
We got our 2 baskets of kohlrabi harvested. You'll notice as we pick our kohlrabi and our broccoli that we're gonna throw the leaves on the ground. Some people will eat those leaves, and we've eaten them in the past too. However, by adding the leaves back into the soil, it adds a lot of nutrients. Nutrients that we could do without, but we'd rather not.
Oh, beautiful, Andrew, beautiful.
Thank you.
Leave the stems a little longer if you can, please.
Yep.
One mistake I made today. Forgot to wear my hat. We just picked 2.5 bushels of broccoli. Now we're moving on to cabbage. Our early cabbage doesn't have a lot of size to it. When the leaves are tight and the head is nice and hard on the cabbage, that's when you pick it and it's ripe, so we're gonna harvest it. We just got finished picking the cabbage. We got about 5 bushel. The heads are really, really small, but that's okay. It has a really, really good flavor to it. We're gonna be able to sell this really easy through the farm market. Early cabbage is a lot of our customers' favorite thing to buy. There's something we like to see. We've always struggled to have early cauliflower, and this year we actually seem to be doing pretty well. We're trying to get on top of it. We're rubber banding the tops right now. This one was already fully developed, so we harvested it. The cauliflower starts to turn yellow when the sun hits it, which isn't really a terrible thing. It just doesn't look as pretty. You want a nice white head of cauliflower in the farm market because that's what sells the best. Now that we're done picking cabbage, we're gonna start banding cauliflower. Something we're looking for is the spinning or tightening of leaves at the base of the cauliflower. And if we do a little research, we go down and look, we can actually see a little head of cauliflower forming. And the way we do it, we just grab all the outside leaves, put a rubber band over the top. This is kind of a tedious job, but if you don't do it now, you pay for it later on. We've got all the cauliflower wrapped. Now when those heads really start to grow large, they'll be nice and protected by the leaves. The zucchini that they picked looks really good too. I think we've had a lot of people calling and asking for zucchini flowers as well. We actually raised like a whole separate crop just for the zucchini flowers. What's up, Dad? How do you feel about a truckload of vegetables?
2021 vegetable harvest is off to the races.
Just when we thought today couldn't get any better, we've been harvesting so many vegetables, we started picking a few peppers. Woo! How do you feel about your first real harvest of 2021?
I like it. My back hurts.
That's the best way to start the vegetable season.
Just picked some sweet banana peppers.
So we've got a few things we need to wash. We're gonna wash the kohlrabi. We're gonna try and get all of the dirt off the kohlrabi since it sits so low to the ground. And we're also gonna wash off our cucumbers and our pickling cucumbers. Now when it comes to the cucumbers and the pickles, the reason why we're trying to wash them is because of all the rain we've had. It just causes things to get messy. And even though we are washing this stuff, every time you guys get food, whether it's from a farm market, grocery store, you need to wash it. It's safer that way. You see where our food comes from, but if you're getting it from the grocery store, you may not know where that's coming from. It's always good to wash your food. It's always good to be careful. You know, we just picked broccoli, Grammy.
I know, isn't it nice?
So for lunch today, we're gonna be having BLTs, and Grammy made bruschetta. Ooh, looks good.
Well, hello. You guys are in for a special treat this afternoon, let me tell you. I'm your cameraman. That's right, you guys are with Lefty and Daniel. That's right. What we just did was we went out and picked out some lettuce. It's crazy how much dirt you actually find on the leaves that you soak off, and it makes the leaves nice and crisp. Put them in the cooler, they come out looking really nice. After this, we've got more excitement. Yes, more excitement. Oh yeah, we're gonna take those baskets and we're gonna fill them with sugar snap peas and snow peas. I hope you guys are excited. We've got a whole afternoon planned with vegetables, fruits, and pure happiness.
I'm very excited. Where's Andrew? Is he missing again?
Yes, he is.
Where's Matthew?
I don't know.
Where's Ralph?
I also don't know.
I'm the only one that shows up every day, Daniel and I.
So before we get started on the raspberries, we actually have some 98s that we're gonna fill.
Grammy's gonna plant them, and then they'll be our last planting of pickles for the year.
So we just got all 30 of those trays filled up, as you can see right here. We're gonna take them up to the germination greenhouse, which we just emptied out. So that way Grammy can go ahead and plant the last planting of pickles and cucumbers for the year.
Oh, caught me.
Guess what? You got caught twice. It's funny. As you can see, the bushes are just hanging full. And you just come right up, pluck them right off. Beautiful little raspberry.
I am not a good raspberry farmer.
Here, I got some I can dump in your tray.
I don't know any berry.
What about chuckberry?
There you go. Look how beautiful they came out.
There's a rock there. Megan's like, we're having peas for dinner. And Joel's like, I ate those all morning. I'm trying you every time you stop.
Ah! Who would throw sugar snap in your snow? You're throwing more snow in here. We're only picking a half bushel of the sugar snap peas, and then we're picking a half bushel of the snow peas. So we got our half bushel of sugar snap, moving over to the snow. Now, Matt, how do you know if a green bean's ready?
There you go.
And after taking a look at the green beans, we're heading off to set up the blueberry nets. Birds absolutely love them. So we have to cover our blueberries with a net, and it prevents the birds from stealing all the blueberries.
So does Tyler. So we have to lock the net so Tyler can't get in.
What do you like more, blueberries or raspberries?
I hate raspberries.
Okay, I don't think he can hear me over here, but I just wanted to let you know, over at the raspberry patch, I saw him eating a lot of raspberries. So we just gotta take this and unravel it, just like Matt's doing, and make it all nice and straight. And then it's just a matter of getting it set up on the wood.
Go up, Joel. Caught one, Joel.
We caught a big bird.
Got a big red bird. Everybody in the comments, what kind of bird is Grandpa?
And what are you doing?
I'm doing spring mix.
Are you excited about the fresh picked raspberries?
They're really good. I've been eating them. It's a problem.
So we have the net put up on the blueberries, and we finished just in the nick of time because a passing shower is moving its way through. So we came into the store to get a drink, and then we're heading back out to pick some cherries next. Where are you guys off to?
We're going to take soil samples to check to see the population of nematodes in the soil.
So how did the testing go for nematodes?
We don't know yet.
We're sending it to Michigan State University to be tested.
Hey guys, I'm back. I had to take my wife to a doctor's appointment. Everything's good. Baby's doing great. We're going right along with schedule. That's just where I was.
My car's all the way up there. My wife's over here. You know, 1 + 1 = 2, that's for sure. I'll see you guys.
I have never seen someone run that fast in my life. You should have seen your husband running across to get you the car.
I saw him out the window.
All right, everyone, we made it up to the house. We were dodging raindrops. And as you can see, we've got nothing on the dinner table. It's date night. Lauren and I are getting some burgers from a local place. And since we're having date night, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. We wanna thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Subscribe.